Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and this is the iPad Pro Smart Keyboard. Now I've been using this for about a week or so, and this has been really hard to come by. I wasn't able to find it in any stores, Apple stores. I could have ordered it and it would have taken about 2 to 3 weeks, it said, at the least to get here, and I'm not sure why it's so scarce, but it's really expensive, but it actually really transforms the iPad Pro. I wasn't going to get this and decided to pick it up. It's about $180. This was actually about $150 or $145. I found it at Best Buy, still wrapped but open box, so maybe someone returned it or something, or they rewrapped it, but you'd never know it was used, but it was $30 off, and since I couldn't find one anywhere else, I decided to just pick it up. It still has the warranty from Apple, so it's not too big of a deal. So inside it has all the little literature that comes with it, and you've got the Smart Keyboard. It shows you how to fold it different ways. And then you've just got a little warranty pamphlet that comes with it. So the keyboard's pretty simple, and it's nicer than I thought it would be. Now the texture, I did play around with this in the store a little bit. If you ever saw that video when it first came out, I couldn't get my hands on one, so I decided to go to the store, check this out, and check the pencil out, and look at the keyboard. The nice thing about this keyboard is you don't need any batteries with it. It doesn't pair via Bluetooth or anything. It pairs via these 3 pins here, and this powers it. This comes straight from the iPad on the side, and I'll show you that in a moment. But this magnetically adheres to the side just like the smart cover, but it communicates via these 3 pogo pins. So that's really nice. And basically, if you were to take this apart, iFixit actually pulled one of these apart. There's ribbon cables that go through here that are designed to flex within the fabric. So it's really nice. They're kind of woven within the fabric, and then this is actually fabric itself. So if I bring it closer to the camera, you'll see that these actually move, and the way you can tell they're fabric is actually a little bit easier on the shift key. Let me see if I can show you. But if I rock it from side to side, you can kind of see this move, and it shows that it's fabric. It has an interesting texture though, and anyone that's very picky about textures, I think you may want to check this out before you use one. I'm pretty picky about it. I've gotten used to it, but I can't say that it's my favorite feeling. It's really weird feeling. It's almost like you're typing on nylon. So it's something along those lines. It feels pretty well constructed. It folds over like this. It's magnetically adhered. So now that I've got it stuck like this, you have to pop it apart. And that helps fold it into a stand and helps you use it and store it. So when you're using it, you fold it over like this and fold it onto the iPad. So let me bring in the iPad, and here's the iPad Pro. You can see it has some scuffs on it, but this is the smart cover. I've got the iPad Pro here, and what we do is we magnetically adhere it to the side. What we have here are 3 connectors on the side of the iPad. The 3 pogo pins on the smart keyboard match up to this and push right onto it and adhere, and that's how it communicates. So there's no syncing, nothing like that. It's just adhered right now. And if I open this up, I can type on it, and then when I want to fold it, I just simply fold it like that. And now we've got a smart cover with a slight bulge in it. So you do have this little bulge that goes across, and I found that that's not too annoying really. You get used to it, and it does add a little bit of weight to the iPad, but this is more of, I guess, a laptop replacement at this point. I never thought that until I started using this with the keyboard. So what we can do is we can prop this up a couple different ways. If we want to use it vertically, let me move the camera and show you how this works. Now that we've got a little more space, we can fold this up. So if we want to use it this way, we simply take the iPad and bring it in like this. So you bring it in, and it kind of just folds itself into that triangle and supports itself, and it holds up nicely. If you want to use it, see, it just popped off. I was pulling on it with a little too much force. But if you want to stand it up and use it as just a display, that's where it gets a little bit more tricky. You swing it around the back. So you've got the iPad cover behind the back, or this keyboard. Bring it up to the back like this, and it forms this triangle that rests against the keyboard. The nice thing is it disables the keyboard, so you don't get any erroneous presses or anything like that. So let me bring it back, and I'll show you how it functions. Now that we have the keyboard set up, This really transforms the iPad Pro. I was pretty skeptical about using the iPad Pro as a daily laptop replacement, and I think for a lot of people they actually could do that now that you've got the keyboard attached, or really any Bluetooth keyboard. And the reason I say that is you can use all the keyboard shortcuts you could on a Mac just about on the iPad. So for example, if you want to use Spotlight Search, you hit Command Space, it pops up Search. Hit it again, it goes away. If you want to copy something, Command C, paste, Command V, select all, Command A, and it's really convenient, especially when you're going through documents, copying and pasting, things like that. So if we go to the internet here, we'll go to my website, type Zollotech, hit enter, it pops up, and we can just scroll through. And it's really, really convenient and really nice. And I find it very, very intuitive and very fast. Now, what really makes this a little bit different is if we bring up Safari, we'll just go to Apple's website here. And we'll bring this up. Maybe we'll bring in Twitter. And now it's a little bit more compelling. So I could post to Twitter. We'll go back, hit post, and say, making some more videos, and hit tweet, and we just tweet it. We can use this side as well, and many of you know this if you've seen my iPad review or any other iPad reviews, or you've had a chance to use one. So you've got this split screen view or split view, and you can copy and paste, like I said. So there's a lot of really nice things. So if I go over here, it's very convenient. Now, one thing I do find that's a little bit disappointing is these arrow keys don't seem to work really in a whole lot of applications. You can see I can scroll up and down the page. It's a little stuttery for whatever reason, where if I scroll, it's nice and smooth. So I don't find it terribly convenient. The one place I find this really nice is in iMovie. So if you're familiar with Final Cut Pro or iMovie on the Mac, you can actually go frame by frame with the arrows and use all the keyboard shortcuts you're familiar with on iMovie within iPad Pro. So that's one place I have to say it's really nice. So I think as time goes on and you see more and more shortcut keys, maybe even with iOS 10, this will become even better. Now, one of my concerns with the keyboard itself, though, is how well it will hold up after you've used it for a while. Since this is actually cloth, it's hard to say. I'm assuming it's waterproof and waterproof coated. I believe they mentioned something to that effect, but really it's very, very fast. And you can use the space bar to go down, as you see here. But there's a few things I'd like to see changed throughout. I'd like to see the arrow keys used more throughout the OS instead of just specific apps. And I'd also like to see maybe, well, I hate to say it, but maybe a trackpad ability, something along those lines for a little bit finer editing. But maybe they want you to use the pencil for that instead. It is a different type of use case, and it's really something that I find to be really nice to use now that I've got a keyboard. I enjoy using it, and I do find I use it when I'm just browsing the web or doing very casual things. I don't find that I use it when I want to do serious editing, though. So maybe that will change over time, and I'd personally love to see a Final Cut version on here, and the keyboard would really help with that. One thing I almost forgot to mention is the throw of the keyboard. The keyboard feels really nice. The keys are a little bit smaller than the 2015 MacBook keys, but the throw is very similar. I want to say it's slightly longer vertically than the MacBook. So it's somewhere in that range, in between, say, a 2013 MacBook Pro and a 2015 MacBook. It's somewhere in between that throw, and it is the same type of switches that are in that new MacBook. I find I can type on it very fast, but I do have a non-traditional typing style where I don't really use all of my fingers, or I kind of use a combination of some on each hand. But I can type very fast on this. I find it very comfortable, but the texture is a little bit weird. But if you're not really liking the keyboard on the 2015 MacBook or this, I would suggest maybe checking out something along the lines of the Logitech keyboard or some others that have come out for it. But let me know if you've used this keyboard, what you think of it. And I'm really starting to like the iPad Pro more and more as I use it, especially because of the keyboard. But I wanted to kind of share my thoughts on that after I've used it for a little while, and share my thoughts about the keyboard as well. But let me know what you think about the keyboard if you've used it. If you've used the Logitech one, which one do you like better? Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.